Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today I'm asking the question, is the internet no longer a disruptive technology? Now, here's why I'm talking about this. I just read a piece in Bloomberg by Connor Sen, and I thought that this was very interesting, and I wanted to elaborate a little more on this. But to begin, I'm going to quote Mr. Sen in the beginning of his article, and I quote, "Internet-enabled industry disruption defined business strategy in the 2010s, but as 2020 begins, that era appears to be winding down. The disruptors have largely become the new establishment, and unlike a decade ago, it doesn't look like the new leaders will be displaced anytime soon. Today's internet is mature and mainstream technology." And I think he's absolutely right. And if we look at this, and these are some of the industries that he mentioned as well, but I'm going to elaborate myself on some of these. I think this is actually a rather important thing that we need to talk about because the internet is no longer disruptive. If we look at this, we can look at various industries. The music industry has been completely and virtually divorced of all other platforms other than streaming. Sure, there's people that still collect vinyl or the occasional CD and all of that, but overwhelmingly, where the money is being generated, the revenue is being generated, is with things like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc., etc. Video streaming is the same way. If you are old like me, you remember Blockbuster and the excitement of going to get a VHS tape and eventually a DVD from Blockbuster, and that has gone completely away. Now we are streaming virtually everything, and while we can go and walk into a local retail store and buy DVDs and Blu-rays, overwhelmingly the revenue, once again, is going to Netflix, Hulu, now Disney Plus and all of that. And so here we are. More and more people are also cutting the cord from normal television like cable TV and all of that, and basically opting for an internet connection and then paying for services like Netflix, Hulu, Disney, etc., now kind of doing it in their own a la carte way, which in many cases may end up being less expensive than paying for a cable subscription. And finally, let's look at advertising as well. Originally, TV and print media was basically the place to go if you wanted to advertise anything from political campaigns to products to services to whatever that is. And now, thanks to Google and Facebook, as well as other competitors, the largest revenue stream for advertising and the way Google, Facebook, etc. made their money was advertising. It is one of the largest revenue generating avenues in the history of revenue generation, and Google, Facebook, and others have capitalized on that thoroughly. And so by virtue of that, I don't think the internet is disruptive anymore. I would agree with Connor Sen. I think it is a platform with which we can launch other disruptive technology. The United Nations basically classifies the internet the same way it classifies regular telephone service and all of that as an essential right that humans have, because it allows us to communicate with each other, to gather and gain information, to educate, and on and on and on. We've even seen surgeries done on the internet. And so where we are going to see disruption is not at the layer of the internet. We're going to see disruption happening on the internet itself, not necessarily changing what the internet is. And yes, we can update protocols. If you are anything technical at all, you know that a lot of the world runs on IPv4, and we are migrating to IPv6 and other protocols and all of that. But that platform essentially remains the same. And so will Disney Plus, ultimately, as many other Disney products do, consume Netflix and Hulu and everything else to become this whole platform? Would Netflix do that? Would Hulu do that? Is the music industry, streaming, is that going to be completely wiped out by Spotify? Or will Apple Music have all these kinds of things? Or maybe we see a different platform developed on the internet that combines these things, that becomes disruptive to all of these different verticals, including advertising. But the internet is here to stay. And the internet is no longer this fierce competition in the same way that these verticals now become competition among themselves. The internet has given us that playing field where before that playing field had a couple of challenges in print media, in regular television and all of that. The internet is it now. And I think that's very important because as we launch new technologies, we are also, at least in my industry, launching new technology to secure that technology. And one of the things that a lot of people miss is that as they adopt new technology, and I fully believe that everybody should, they need to marry it with security, cybersecurity, etc. That is very important. And so the next evolution of the internet, while the internet remains that platform with which to launch 1,000 different ships and 1,000 different verticals, we also need to make sure that we're securing it. But I think the internet itself is no longer disruptive. And Connor Sen, thank you for writing that article. It really made me think. And I'd love to hear your comments on this as well. Do you agree with me and Connor? Let me know. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And you will notice I am talking about nothing but internet platforms here. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.